Brian Cashman, we sat in these chairs just a couple weeks ago. You like to say that the Yankees are big game hunters. Has that ever been more true than this offseason?
Well, I mean, we've had a long history, and with some pretty significant acquisitions, but this has been a particularly busy winter, so we'll see.
People use the word stealth, although Hal Steinbrenner just said this has been turned into more of a soap opera than it was. But I'll ask you, all along with Mark Teixeira, did you feel like you would get in at the end and get him?
No, I thought we did. We had a winter program, and Mark wasn't necessarily on that. I constantly talked to ownership throughout the process, reminding them about Mark and feeling that we should probably try to get involved, and just kind of waited for a green light to allow me to do so. And until that time, which was no guarantee it was going to come, I did stay in contact with Scott. I did meet with Mark Teixeira. I was very impressed with him during that meeting, and then once I did go get a green light from Hal after constant conversations, then we were able to close something out, and I'm happy that we're able to present him here to the Yankees, and I think it's going to be a big addition for this franchise for the next 8 years.
We just talked to Lee, Mark's wife. Did you realize the big role she played in saying, all right, we want to be Yankees?
Wish I did. Might have saved a little money. I was joking with him upstairs before he came down there when they shared that with me. But I'll tell you what I did when I left meeting with Mark Teixeira and Scott Boras in Washington, D.C., down in the hotel down there, I did report to ownership that I got the sense that if all things were equal, that he wanted to be a Yankee ahead of anything else. That was my sense and belief, and I do believe that was accurate. And here we are today. I think, I hope he made a wise choice, and I think we made a wise investment, and we look forward to him blending in with everybody else here to try to help us get where we want to go.
The pieces of the puzzle seem to have come together so well, but where are you right now with Andy Pettitte?
Well, I'd say that, Andy's a free agent. I know there's been a lot of, conversation about him rejecting an offer, for instance, and I think it's better stated so far that, we didn't accept an offer, he hasn't accepted an offer. It's just the way the negotiation process has gone or does go. It's not any different than anybody else's, and because of who he is and how special he is and how important he's been to this town, it does play a lot louder and sometimes can play out, in that way in this town. We've done a lot this winter, and right now it's a strong possibility that this is the team we're going to go with into spring training. But at the same time, we stay engaged and have stayed engaged with obviously people that are of interest to us, and so it doesn't mean that Andy's going to pitch for the Yankees in 2009, and it doesn't mean that something doesn't change that fact either, and he does pitch for us. So, but ultimately, I think it's a better way to characterize how things have gone is that no one's accepted anybody's positions. It's not been a problem. It's not been any tough, difficult thing playing out. Everybody's been very respectful, and I think we both know how we feel about each other, which is important to keep in when you're going through the process.
You have, Brian, as you say, done a lot. You've also spent a lot this offseason. What do you say to critics who look at the total dollars and say that's bad for baseball, or just say that's not a good thing overall?
Well, I mean, everybody makes their decisions for their own individual needs. We had $88 million come off our payroll, and we are replacing that right now with about $67 million in increases. And so our payroll is going to be less this year than it was last year. So I read about how everybody else is reducing payroll, and yeah, so are we. We just had so much come off. Some of it was of older players. We've replaced them with players in the 28 to 31 range that were, that are high end at their, positions, and we're excited about the opportunities that they bring, for this franchise as we move forward. For those who say that, well, this is the Yankees buying a championship, I think history has already proven that if that was the case, I think the Yankees would have had won a World Series every year that we've been in existence, because we probably had the highest payroll every year we've been in existence, or almost every year. So. Then the last, and revenue sharing clearly works, because you see the turnover, obviously, in terms of the postseason performers and the ultimate world champions. It's been different over the last 8 years or so. So you deal with it. We're going to do what we think is best for us. We're proud of the work that we've accomplished. We know it doesn't guarantee anything. I mean, the Rays have a fantastic franchise, as do the Red Sox, both of which we finished behind last year. And so I guess in a very small way, these are huge compliments, these additions, and these the additions that ownership allowed us to step up. Or you could take as huge compliments to recognizing the competition that we have in our own division right in front of us, and hopefully we're in a better position to compete with those teams as we move forward. We'll see.
Brian, you've had a very busy offseason. We thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Kim.